Hi everybody, I'm Jungle Jack Hanna from the Columbus Zoo. Welcome to Snake Bites. Ryan was here somewhere with me.
Hey, Jack. I know you've been doing this for a long time and stuff, but that's really not the way we roll when we do this show. Let me just stand back for a second. This is how I want you to do it. Hey, Brian from Snake Bites here. We're down at the Columbus Zoo, and we're with Jack Hanna, and you're watching Snake Bites. Something like that, you know. And you got that? All right.
Okay.
See, I know you've been doing it, but see what you can do.
Hi everybody, I'm Jungle Jack Hanna. Welcome to Snake Bites. I'm not a zoologist. I don't know the Latin names of animals. As David Letterman says, I'm a walking encyclopedia of misinformation. But what I do take my job seriously is to try and teach people in a fun way. As far as responsibility, yes, because you obviously want to represent the zoo world the best you can, the zoological world. The only cat in the world with non-retractable claws. The fastest land mammal at 70 miles an hour. If you're going down the interstate at 65, think of a cat passing you. It's amazing.
As a matter of fact, one of the things I was going to ask is, why is there a cheetah and a dog in the same pen? Wouldn't that be a conflict?
Yeah, that's why I asked the guys that work here. Doesn't seem like it would work, does it? A lady named Lori Marker, who's probably one of the finest cheetah conservationists in the world, most knowledgeable. She has a place in Namibia where we've been to, and she had this Anatolian shepherd, but now the Anatolian shepherd keeps the cheetah away from the cattle herds and the flocks of sheep. It could be responsible, this dog, for maybe preserving the cheetah for many generations to enjoy. I have no idea how long this is going to last, the dog and the cheetah liking each other.
But
they're raised for about 10 days old, and it's just, you know, it's a neat thing to see the two of them playing. This right here is a snow leopard, and all my animals are favorites, but this is really a special creature. If you look at those feet, look at this, feel that foot. It's almost like a feather when you touch it. It's one of the only cats in the world with fur at the bottom of their feet. Those eyes get blue when they're full grown. That tail there is like like you have a jacket. They'll put that tail around them at 40, 50 below zero in the Himalayas when they're up at 5,000, 15,000 feet. Very few people in the world have ever seen a snow leopard in the wild. Look at that tail, that gorgeous.
Amazing. Now you said full grown. How big? What is?
This is maybe about twice as big, I think. Twice as big, yeah. They're like goats and sheep up in the mountains there. But you know, it's so sad because some people say, well, there's 1,000 left. Some people say 500. You know, people take census. So the point is,
if they're saying 1,000,
exactly, who knows?
Yeah, it could be a couple.
Who knows?
Hundred. Right.
And it's hopefully it's more, but you know, we just can't. You can't tell because these animals live in areas that very few people in the world could ever go to. Now, poaching was for the coat. That coat on the black market used to sell for $60,000, $70,000 a piece. That's no longer the case, really. Because you can't take the coats anywhere because of the CITES and all the treaties. The problem is today that these cats are so rare, they're solitary, that sometimes they can't even find their mates to breed. And you touch the fur, so you can imagine why people salt that for a coat.
Oh my gosh, it's a shame. It's such an incredible animal. I can't imagine anyone doing anything. You said about, you know, I mean, did you guys breeding them here then, or?
We bred them here, but right now these animals are sent here by folks around the country, different zoological parks where we raise them, and then they have computer chips in their shoulders, so that could go to a breeding loan in Japan or Australia or Europe, you know, in an accredited zoo. And that's how we follow all these animals throughout their entire lifetime. Guthrie Gibbon Williams always said, you can usually train a wild animal, you can never tame a wild animal, because it's like a loaded gun, as you well know, it can go off at any time. Right. And this cat here is capable right now of taking your hand off or something like that. But we do work with him with enrichment and all this. You can see here these guys, you know, nothing's done here about knocking animals around, anything like that. These animals they've got all their claws, teeth, and everything. But I could just watch this cat all day long, just laying there like that. And he loves cold weather. You know, right now it's about 20 degrees out here, as you can see, we're both freezing. But this cat here, just go ahead and take it 20 below zero. He doesn't care. He don't care at all. This is a Siberian lynx. Now you can notice on this cat, the Siberian lynx compared to that snow leopard, look at the feet. Yes, the feet are big, nothing like the snow leopard's foot because it's much wider because of the rocks and everything it's on. But that's a Siberian lynx, and they'll lose some of those spots as this one gets bigger. This might get a little, not quite 2 times as big. So that back foot looks like a snowshoe, see that? So it walks on this big flat part. See the big flat part? Yep. It walks on that, not on the pads of their feet.
Now, what's the deal with the short tail? They all have that?
Yep, it's like a bobcat. You know, same kind of cat basically.
Right,
have the real long tufts on their ears there. But these are still hunted for their coats. You know, it's legal. They're threatened in some parts of Siberia. Well, no, I'm sorry, endangered there. Now this leopard, you notice this leopard. You think this is a snow leopard, maybe, right?
Right, that's what I thought.
But no, this is a clouded leopard. You can tell from the coat. See the clouds on it?
Right.
This cat gets maybe about twice this size, maybe 2.5 times this big. It's a small cat. Lives about 90% of his life in trees. 90%, the only cat in the world. The cat, see that coat there?
Yep.
That coat is about $80,000 to $90,000 each.
Holy cow.
But this cat is a nocturnal creature from Malaysia. And when I just got back from filming over there, and I thought I'd see one that was done because there's only been about 2 or 3 people that have seen one of these last 5 years in the wild. They call this a cat that hunts in silence. Any leopard is a cat that hunts in silence. You can never hear them. They can be 2 feet from you in the jungle or wherever. You'd never hear them, or even in Africa in the plains, wherever it might be. The cat's legs are very short, and it's almost abnormal when they get full grown. It looks really weird with the body, but they're short because it allows a lot of balance in the trees. Their canine teeth get to be very long, up to 2 inches long for a cat that size is incredible.
Yeah, that's a long one.
These cats, again, in Malaysia, are very, very endangered species. One of the most endangered cats in the whole world.
So these guys are kind of opposite from the snow leopard from the standpoint
Right.
of like warm weather instead of cold weather.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, that's,
Live in jungles in Malaysia, 100, 120 degrees temperature, whereas the other one can go to 60 below zero.
Right.
The snow leopard wouldn't live there a day; it'd be dead.
Right.
It's the hottest place I've ever been on Earth as far as the heat and humidity. But you see, they have a longer nose. It's a very different looking cat when they're full grown. See, it's not more of a flat face like the snow leopard.
Right.
It almost looks like they say it dates back to the saber-toothed tiger.
Really?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, anytime you want to come back. The Columbus Zoo is for everybody. You know, we're very proud of what we have here, all the staff here, the many different things we have here. And the polar bears come in March, so make sure you come back and see this polar bear habitat. It's probably one of the largest in the world. And you'll be inside, underneath the polar bear swimming. It's gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Have a good year. Tell the snakes hello.
All right, I will.
Brian and Jack deal with the dangerous animals, but they called me in to deal with the real dangerous animals. I'd like you to meet my friends. They're African black-footed penguins named Punky and... Oh, they're nice. Oh, I thought you guys were mean. Whoa! Ah! Be nice. Oh! Okay. Assistant. Ah! Be nice. Ooh, God. Okay. Let's walk him back. Oh my God.
All right, guys, I'm here at the Columbus Zoo with Cal's question of the week. I want to know what's the worst or most ridiculous Christmas gift you've ever received. Jack, what's the worst one you've ever received? Okay, Jack, seriously. Okay, come on. Just tell somebody. All right, bah humbug, Jack. Anyway, text or video comment below. Let me know. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Jack had to run off to do one of his mini television appearances. I want to thank everyone down here at the Columbus Zoo for inviting us down here, having such a great time. Until next time, you've been watching Snake Bites. Come on, Jack, let's go.
I'm not against responsible pet ownership, but what is responsible? What does that mean? We're going to have to do something because there are certain problems with folks taking these animals. As you well know, it's cool to have a reptile, but then the coolness wears off, and what happens? The animal suffers, and or the people will suffer, or other animals that might be natural animals in the natural habitats are going to suffer. I think we're going to have to come up with something where people have to sign some sort of agreement with you guys, the people that supply these snakes, to where they can come back to where they came from. That's all. Because it's the only way it's going to work. So explain to him that the most fascinating thing I do in my shows are reptiles. Obviously, I have to go across state lines and take my Burmese python and talk about snakes. And when I do talk about the python, I talk about rattlesnakes. I talk about coral snakes. I talk about many different types of snakes.
Right.
That I've seen throughout the world. If you can't educate millions of people about reptiles don't have a chance.